YouTube! We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? This week, we're doing a quick episode of Growing Like a Champ. Tomorrow will be the start of May. It's getting to be that time where plants have got to go outside. In some cases like mine, the plants have now been growing for 3 months, and things could be changing, and people might have questions. So we'll get right down to it. This episode here, I'm going to quickly deal with starting to weather your plants. When they first go outside, they're going to be shocked. The sun is too intense. The wind will be too intense. A lot of things are going to be too intense for a plant, especially if it was grown indoors and has never seen wind or fans. I suggested in the past to use fans. This is why. But yeah, these are factors that can, determine how weathered your plants will be. But even if you have a fan blowing on your plants, and even if you have a pretty good light, nothing is equal to nature and the randomness of the airflows of nature and the intensity of the sun at different times of the day. So no matter what you do, plants need to be slowly broken into being outside. And I like to do it over a 3-week period, maybe even 4 if you can stretch it that far. I mean, it's still kind of cool out a lot of the days right now, but as the days get warmer, the time my plants spend outside is going to be increased. But I think right around now is a good time to start, on a nice sunny afternoon, get those plants outside, get them in the sun for an hour, at minimum, and slowly build from that every day or every couple of days until, you can leave them in the direct sunlight for 6 to 8 hours. Which would be the most they would see in a normal day. But yeah, if you can get them up to about six hours or so over a 3-week period, you should be good to go, and they won't be for any shock when you leave them outside. And the other thing is, over that time, they'll get stronger from seeing different air patterns, and that'll help them get used to that too, so you won't lose leaves and have problems. But enough of that. And the other thing that we're going to talk about is buds. My plants are budding now because a trigger for chili peppers is when they become root bound in their containers, they start to bud. So mine have obviously filled up the little containers and have been throwing buds now for a few weeks. This isn't unusual. It happens every year for me. I'm picking buds off usually in the last month as they go outside. And once I repot them, that actually stops. But again, we'll talk about this outside. I actually already filmed outside because I had the plants outside, so I wanted to film while they were outside, so I was in a bit of a hurry earlier. But I'll talk about that and, just weathering one more time outside. But yeah, let's go outside, take a look at how things are. And, it's quite a day out there, so check things out, and we'll be back in here in a minute. Well, it's that time of year again, and here we are. It's the first day of the really nice weather here in Pickering, and I figured today would be a good time to get my plants their first exposure to the sun. Like I've been saying in other videos, you have to gradually do this or they'll get damaged real quickly. Right now it's about 1 in the afternoon, so this is pretty much peak sunlight, and for their first exposure, this is a very dangerous time for them to see a lot of sun. So I'm probably going to expose them for 45 minutes to an hour today and then bring them back inside. The other reason you don't want to do it too long is no matter how much you simulate wind, it's different outside. So they have to gradually be exposed to different types of air movement too, so you don't lose all your leaves and suffer structural damage to the plants. Even though I've had a fan on them all season, that will help the way they've developed so far. But still, I'd like to gradually expose them to all the elements and the sun. Just to make sure things go smoothly. It's a good idea to do it over a 2 or 3 week period, and this being the start of May tomorrow, that gives me 3 weeks before they go outside. So I'm going to start with about an hour of sunlight today, and then tomorrow I'll probably bring them out for an hour and 15 minutes, and then during the week I'll bring them out at a later point of the day so the sun won't be as intense, and I'll give them an hour and a half, 2 hours, and slowly gradually add time every day. And that will slowly get them used to the sun, and then by next weekend I'll give them a couple of hours of good sunlight. And I'll just keep building them up till they see about 6 hours of sunlight before I can leave them outside. And at that point they should be okay. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys, I have to focus this manually probably, so let me just get the focus up. there are now buds forming. And I know people are probably wondering, if you see buds, what do you do? Do you leave them on, or do you pick them off? I say pick them off. When the plants are this size, the buds are of no use. And in my case, if I leave them on, they're not going to do anything inside anyways. So it's best to pick them off before they start turning into flowers. You have a little bit of time from when they first appear until they start to hang like these ones here. When they start to hang like this, that's when you got to start getting ready to get them off, or else they're going to open up. Once they open up, then it's going to start a different process of growth. So it's a good idea to pick those off by this point. And all you have to do is just basically grab them and twist them off. And that's it. They're gone. You can also snip them off with scissors. You can even take something and just bend them the other way and they'll break off. But yeah, that's all you got to do. Get them off now, and then the energy that was going to those will go back into growing the plant. And that's especially helpful when you transplant them into larger containers. They're going to need the energy to grow, get bigger, rather than start flowering. So yes, if you're wondering what you should do with the buds, should you leave them on or pick them off? Pick them off. I mean, if you leave them on, they won't hurt the plant. But if you pick them off, it's going to definitely redirect the energy towards growing and structural things. So that's what you want at this stage. Now I'll leave these for the next hour and let them get a little sun, and I'll do this again tomorrow. Let's go back inside and finish up the video. Well, there you have it. Plants are looking big, aren't they? Yeah, it's hard to believe that they're 3 months old now, and in about 3 weeks they'll be outside in their permanent homes, if you can believe that. But in the meantime, between now and then, like I've been saying, they're going to need to be weathered. So every day I'm going to try to expose them to sun. When I get home from work, they're going to see, later in the afternoon sun, so I'll leave them that for a little longer. But direct sunlight, I'll be a little gentle with them for, at least a week till they see sun every day. And, then I'll start working them towards that 6 hour of, light thing that I was talking about. And like I said, buds, pick them off. I mean, it's at your discretion, but my personal opinion is if you pick the buds off, the plants will use that energy to grow. And when you finally transplant into the new pots, you're going to want that. You're going to want your plants to get bigger so you can get more yields off of them. The bigger the plant, the more you get usually. So, that's something to keep in mind. It might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but you use fine scissors, snip them off, bend them the wrong way, break them off, pick them off, do what you got to do like I showed you in the video. And, get those auxins going upwards so those plants get bigger before you really start letting them fruit. I usually pick things off till about mid-June, and then I leave it for the rest of the year, and that's how things go. So I would recommend the same if you have similar grow seasons to where I live in Ontario. All right, well, that's it for this week. I'm going to get this edited and get it online. It's a little bit of a throw-together video today, but that's what you get sometimes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button too. Check out last week's video where I bet on the Tyson Fury fight and won. Check out this random video here. Leave a comment, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.